Hey everybody, Generally Irritable here at Minds Fest, and we have the lovely Ian. Now you guys might be more familiar with him from Timcast IRL, but would you share with everybody where they can find your channel, your stuff?
Yeah, it's at Ian Crossland, all over the internet. It's my name. YouTube channel, I got a Rumble channel, Twitter. I've been on YouTube since about 2006, so I've got over 1,000 videos on there. Also, my old channel was called Crossmack, CROSSMACK. That's where I got my start. It's like 300 or 400 videos there.
Okay, so I gotta tell you, the whole graphene thing that you talk about a lot on the show, I know everybody picks on you about it, but it's like legit, for real. Graphene, did I say it right?
Yeah,
graphene?
graphene.
That's right. So, how do you feel about being like, having people like talk like you're a conspiracy theorist or some of the things that you're saying are crazy, especially nowadays when everything that used to be a conspiracy theory is now actually like real and coming true?
I read these quotes like in 20 years ago or something that like, well, when you're a true speaker, they're going to ridicule you in your life, and maybe only after you die will they realize that what you were doing. And I thought, yeah, I guess maybe enough people have said that, and I've seen enough great people say that it's probably going to be true. So I just decided, like, some things are so important that it's worth humiliating yourself over, and that's kind of the direction I go.
And that's what I think, because, the classic, of course, is, they're turning the frogs gay, and, like, they really were turning the frogs gay.
No, I actually corrected Alex to his face. Oh. They're turning them hermaphroditic, so they're making it so that the frogs have both sex organs.
Okay. So he was being very hyperbolic, yeah. Right? But even without the gay frog stuff, the crap they're putting on our water is toxic. It is bad for you. It is terrible.
Yeah, the atrazine that he's talking about is legitimately dangerous.
Yeah, that's what, when I remember, it was in college, I was dating a guy that worked at our local water authority, and he told me they put ammonia and chlorine in our water, and I was like, but if you put your ammonia and chlorine chemicals together, like when you're cleaning, it creates a toxic fume and you can kill yourself. And they put that together in our water? That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I've been thinking of fluoride too. The things that against our, or without our knowledge or against our will, are being introduced into the water supply is pretty freaking crazy. Yeah. And that's on top of like birth control that's being pissed out into the water, or drugs being flushed.
Now there's high levels of all like hormones and crap in our water.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay, so when did you like figure out, like, what was your moment where you were like, I cannot trust the government?
I think in 2007, I had been making YouTube videos since June of 2006. Maybe it was late 2006, and people were commenting on my videos. So I was talking about I want to be in politics, fuck the war in Iraq, and they were like, Ian, do you know what the Federal Reserve is? Do you know what fractional reserve banking is? Watch Loose Change. Look at this video. 9/11. Look at the buildings come down in near free fall speed. It wasn't like planes didn't knock those down. Look at the physics. And then I saw like architects and engineers for 9/11 truth. I'm like, Jesus God. There's
Richard Gage. Yeah, great guy.
Legitimate.
Yep. Yeah, I'm into it. So that was kind of where. So I think I had a similar experience where, I was sharing before we got started. I lived in Texas. My nephew is a Border Patrol agent in McAllen. Like, I know how horrible things are on the southern border. And I listened to NPR lie to the American people, saying that there was no crisis on the southern border. And I was like, what? You're crazy. You're lying. How are you lying? And then I went down the rabbit trail, and it just like all sort of fell apart. So what, if you were to like share with our viewers, like the most important piece of advice, because we're into this kind of stuff all the time, right? Like, we know how to research or find things. For the casual viewer, what do you want to share with them that they should like check out, go to, like something like that? What's some inspiration for you?
Well, I would first advise people to start to learn how to enjoy being wrong and how to enjoy losing. And this is, I learned this as like a young man or a young kid playing video games with my friends. I would win so many times in a row that they would quit playing, and I had to learn how to lose on purpose so that I would still have friends. And so then that has kind of transpired into like You don't always have to be right, and you always don't have to be the winner. It's more about, and then there's that Darwin quote, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, it's the most adaptable. Like, you don't always want to be the one that's right, and you have no friends, but yeah, you're damn right. It's like you want to adapt, I think, is a big important part. I would advise looking outside of your comfort zone for data. Like, I would go to RT way back in the day, be like, well, what's Al Jazeera saying about the war in Iraq, in addition to what CBS is saying?
Yep.
That helped a lot.
That's smart. Yeah, very smart.
Yeah, and yeah, stuff like that. I'll even still watch, like, I watched an MSNBC interview with Zelensky the other day, and they said, President Zelensky, how long should the American people expect to be funding this war in the Ukraine? And Zelensky went, the American people are not funding the war in the Ukraine. And I was just like, that's the biggest, and I was sitting there with my father, and I'd almost walked out on the interview before I even decided to listen to it, but I chose to stay and listen to something that I thought I would disagree with. And because of that, he also heard it and was like, holy shit. And that's like, snapped him out of the Matrix.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, that is so good. All right, so we're here, we're at Minds Fest. Again, it's an opportunity for liberals and conservatives to get on stage, argue it out, debate. What would you say, do you think is like the most, I mean, aside from your panel, obviously, which you're going to be a little bit biased because your panel was also very good, but what else are you like excited to see while you're here today?
I like seeing people listen to each other. I really like it when like two people get really heated and then one of them chooses to be the bigger person and to stop talking and to hear the other person out. It's so powerful because then once you get a chance to talk, they listen to you and you've created a dialogue. So it really takes you being the first one to shut up and listen. It's such a powerful tool, listening.
Oh, wow. You know what? I think that's a perfect place to put it, a button in it. Ian Crossland, check him out. Check out Minds Fest. If you're watching, make sure to go check out the live stream. All right, guys. Peace.